for 5 months, more or less. And well, these are the next dates in each city. So if you want to show to any of those, feel free to follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram. So who we are good people. We are not a tequila company. We just like tequila, and we do software development. Right? We are a consulting agency. We have developers with utility solutions and anything related to software development or customized apps. We're there to help. So if you are interested, please ask me. Like so here are our social media. We have LinkedIn, Instagram, website. Feel free to ask me anything about it. Here's the QR code. And well, today we're gonna have an awesome speaker here today, Rosa Gilpari. She's been a sales leader and a coach for many years. She has robust experience and she has helped a lot of companies to increase their revenue and to working with their sales team to increase the revenue. So I'm gonna let her speak now, but please give her a round of applause.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Um, so here is me talking about AI in sales, because I have been working a lot with different companies, and as I said, but lately, for the last year and a half, I've been implementing AI strategies with them, and I have seen a tremendous amount of change in the sales organization and on revenue. But the question that I always say is, AI is going to be surviving. Well, I mean, our salespeople are going to survive. Like, are we still going to have? So, raise your hand if you think we're going to have salespeople in 5 years. Okay, good, good, good. But what about 2034? Are we still going to have salespeople in 2034? Okay, let's. Actually, it's both. It's going to be a change. And I have noticed it more and more every time I go to sales. And I'm going to tell you why. So it is not a doomsday scenario right now. But we are going to I'm going to explain to you why. Right now we have 3 different types of sales. And you might recognize the one that sells on price. You know those people, the transactional salespeople, the ones that don't really ask too many questions, the ones that just like, okay, what do you need? Here it is. Here's the price. I don't like the price. Hey, I need 20% discount. Okay, here it is. And that is the sales stuff, right? Purely transactional. We're always trying to train them, ask more questions, but they're like, this is what one of the things that we've been looking at and saying is that these price sellers, right, that just goes and gets the features and sends the PDF, they are probably going to be because the avatars are coming. Can ask better questions, have a lot more of the same content, and they actually work 24/7, right? I mean, that's going to be a big benefit. And it doesn't cost us. So I'm always talking to salespeople online. You are a transactional salesperson, you're probably not going to be trained. You're either going to have to upskill or maybe not. Because even in customer service, you probably are the other one that we see is that middle of the road. The middle of the road salesperson, they're the ones with the relationship, they talk to you about the weather, they're like, oh, I went to that school, did you watch the Astros game? And then they go and show you the yes. You know, they ask some questions, but they don't go to enough. Right? They ask enough questions. They get to scale sometimes, sometimes not, sometimes they meet quota, sometimes not. But they're good people. They're not. They're like what I call in the bell curve, the middle. They are the ones that are going to make the most. if they are adaptable and if they are coachable, what I've experimented with different companies is looking about how people react to AI, and those middle of the road, they adapt quickly because they know they have to be more competitive. Their sales, actually the rate of increase for revenue is higher than some superstar hunter longer. I'm a recovered longer, so I can speak clear to say that those people are masters at it, right? I don't know what they do. They come and they talk to you, and you're liking them, and they're telling you this and that. They bring their sales engineer because they don't really know that technical. They have to have that relation. They're a bit disorganized. They hate CRM. They do not like data. Why? Because we're stuck. No. You ask them when you go close to it's coming. It's coming. Are you sure? Yeah. Right? And they never give you any information. You know why? All right. Oh, yeah, I'm feeling a close. Right? And I was one like that. They were like, how do you know? I don't know. I just know. Right? So what's going to happen? They're great. But coming AI, coming on the live of video, what do you think is going to happen to you? Is it good? Yes. The AI is faster. It's going to be faster because the AI collects the data from the body, understands, can actually remember them. So the sales hunter is going to be good, but what happened is those middle of the road people, remember I told you, that are using AI all the time, they are going to actually elevate themselves. The problem with the hunter is it's going to take them too long. And right now, people want to know where are you going to go, what's going to happen. Believe it or not, companies that are implementing AI strategies are having difficulty because at the beginning they didn't want to build a CRM, but now it's starting to build. They actually want AI. I'm old school. I know how to do it. I don't need that stuff. Like I know exactly what to do. That's not my problem. So those are the three types. And I think AI is going to protect them very good. Now, there's three types of AI. There is the one that is on me. What do I mean? You have the seamless AI with lead generation, beautiful AI, Canva with AI, everything that is AI as a retrofit on the periphery, that's our one. But then, what we are implementing is the actual assistant AI. That's when we bring the talk. That's when we bring the content. We download the report. We engineer action plans on the agenda or the account plans for the strategies. That's the assistant. But what's coming in the next 10 years is what we call it the autonomous AI. That AI is competing, it continues to take information from the company and make their own money. Those are the ones that are going to be working with the company. So those are the three types. And one of the things that I've noticed working with different companies is every time these companies, decide to do an AI strategy, they want to implement it, 70% of the work is change management. And so AI is only like 10%. The algorithm is only 10%. The tool is only 20%. The amount of investment that companies have to go is, so believe it or not, you're seeing more and more rejection from sales people and from marketing using AI as a tool. For being a transformation and a revolution and being technical, I'm always surprised. So here's some old habits that are okay. Some skills that are really good that are okay. think some old habits. I don't care how good you are or old school you are. These habits that I'm going to tell you, they have to be. I'm going to show you how to take those skills. But I'm also going to tell you those skills that the hunters have that you have to start. Because at the end of the day, you're not just going to have to replace that, but use that productivity to sharpen the human skills. So, which one is the first one? Recording calls and content. That should be an easy. You would think, okay, everybody should be recording. But they don't. Here is a refusal to record calls, especially from self. And you wonder, well, why? And they're like, well, the customer, there's a privacy. Oh, I don't want the old, like the brother watching what I'm doing. And what I'm saying is, just imagine if you're going to Salesforce and I say, hey, this is the system log. Bobby, all Bobby's going to do is going to go into the meeting. They're not going to talk. They're not going to interrupt you. But they are just going to listen every word. Every word. They're going to, if they talk about pain, they're going to write it. If they're going to talk about impact, they're going to write it. So take Bobby. And they're going to be looking and hearing every single word. And if somebody could offer me that, I'll be like, yeah, I take it. Right? Like, absolutely. Bobby, come over. You're going to be quiet? Yeah, please, I don't want him to talk. You're going to be quiet? Fine. Just listen. And then at the end of the visit, I'll be like, what do you say? Let's go play. You know what? That AI doesn't have words. They don't have opinion. They don't have, point of view. So when you hear the transcript and you use AI to download it and analyze it, that's what the customer says. Many times it's different than what the salesperson says. It's a big disconnect that I was wondering, why is there such a disconnect? Because sometimes I will walk in with my salesperson to a meeting, and I will come out and I'll be like, I don't think they're going to buy it. Oh yeah, they're buying. They're buying it. They say, yes, they're going to buy it. Remember what they said? I'm like, no, you didn't listen to the fact that they didn't have to listen. So that is what happens in sales. We're so worried about what we say that we can't listen. And even if we listen with this hope and positivity that, yeah, that means that they're going to buy it. But at the end of the day, when they don't do it and they get ghosted, they're like, I don't know why. Because they were going to buy it from me. And it is the narrative that we have because we want it. But when you use AI, and I show it to them, so it is amazing what we can do with the whole. So what is the skill that the hunter has, the top salesperson, with that whole? They are super communicative, right? They find that trust, that connection with the customer. They look at their body, they listen, they listen to them, they go like that. I mean, they are very good at that. So use your AI. I tell this to the world. Use AI so they can write down everything. Just look at them. How are you feeling? You feel uncomfortable when you tell me the story? Get that from me. And you'll be amazed. Because at the beginning, people think that the discover call all about getting questions and facts. There's 100 of them. First, 5 minutes. Once you get connected, you're going to get all the things. That so use it because you're going to be able to do better. Follow up some results. Follow up. A lot of hunters, a lot of good salespeople, they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to send my name. conversation, and how does the email look like? They're like, thank you very much for the conversation. Here is the PDF attached. This is what we talked. We'll be talking next Friday. It's an easy one, right? So that's that email, right? I mean, let's attach the PowerPoint presentation, just in case they miss it. That's not a follow-up. That is absolutely not a follow-up. A follow-up is when you download the transcript and you use a framework and a prompt to understand three things. And I can give you the prompt later. I didn't want to put them in here, but three things that you need to get out of the transcript. Number one, the thing. What was the number two, emotional impact. How would your product or service impact the customer emotionally? And number three, your rationale. You have to know if this service or product can actually impact the customer's life. What do I mean? There's only two ways to impact the customer. Either increase the revenue or decrease the cost. Nothing else whatever you got right now. If you go, oh, I'm gonna save you time. Everybody says you save you time. But what is time? The value of time depends, right? If you're gonna save the CEO time or the IT guy time. Because I'm gonna tell you, as a CEO, I don't care if you save the IT guy 30 or 5 minutes. So always get back to revenue or decrease cost. And that follow-up needs to be so specific. So your prompt, when you download that transcript, you have to ask, what was the feeling that the customer that they talked about? Number two, you discover an emotion. Was it stress, anxiety, fail-safe, something? What was the emotional tone that the customer used? And then answer rational. So you can answer questions. Now, for that, I have another class to tell you what questions to ask. But with the transcript itself, what AI does, and I run this all the time. I use the SPICE framework, which is situation, based impact, critical event, and decision maker. You can go to the internet and download any blueprint. Upload the blueprint, download the transcript, and run. And then ask AI to write the email. And when the email comes out, tell us the customer, I heard that your process was manual, your process is headache, you have to work overtime, you want to save time, et cetera. My product will be able to emotionally run. That is a follow-up. You get an email, and you know what I get from the customer? Because believe it or not, my follow-up emails weren't that great before. Like, they have improved tremendously with AI. You know what is the word that you get from the customer? Spot on. You got it. You are spot on. That's exactly what my problem is. That's exactly what. If you get that, what did I say about it? It was the important part. It was empathy. It was impact. You understood. I can see it. So I used to do that. Now, one is the skill that you need. Use that AI, use that AI is gonna message. Then you have to change it to your voice. Make it authentic. If you're not able to read that email and say it aloud to somebody without them saying, hey, you sound like a wall, then that's the right thing. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to talk about saving without sounding saving. So continue with that. use that connection that you all have that implants, that this is for you, right? Just make that easy. So that's still easy. Talk about that easy. That's another thing. Sometimes people go and like, you know what? I can feel that this is going to flow. I know. Like, okay, so what are you going to tell the customer? I don't know exactly that. I will know. I'll figure it out when I get there, right? When I get there, they're going to tell me something and I'm going to tell them something else. Because there's so much data out there. And I'm not talking about numbers. Where am I going to get data? Let me tell you what data is. Data is downloading 5 transcripts and phone calls that have similar customers and understanding what do they like about their customers. You know what I've done today with some of my customers? I download 4 or 5 transcripts from customers and I start understanding, okay, what is the thing? What was the impact? And the reason they buy the product is very different than what the marketing PDF is. It is amazing. They sometimes like one thing, and they come back with that one thing. They don't want the whole thing, right? All the features, all the benefits, all the better, all the wins. So data driven, go ahead and collect as many reports, as many emails with the customer, and ask that you analyze what were the main results. Let me analyze what was the typical situation that is causing all that. Analyzing who the customer was, what they say, and why they say it. That's all. That is the foundation of the IT. Is kind of like, who's your customer profile? Well, my customer profile is this. This is your customer profile that you want. That the one that you have is derived from the data. So this is important. Now, what are the things that you're still going to have to find? Data can only take you so far. Remember I talked to you about that emotional impact? Let me tell you what emotional impact is. Emotional impact is the reason why a decision maker buys the product. A decision maker, the definition of decision maker, they make the emotional impact. All decisions are made. So you have to rationalize your emotion and you have to sell it internally. And that is why they use the rational impact. So that emotional impact, that's the reason the customer. Every time somebody finishes a call and I run the transcript, if they don't find the emotional impact of the conversation, you're not going to do it. You have to go back and find it. You have to go back and find the answer. You have to go back and find it. I want you to try that. I want you to either listen to the recording or ask what was the emotional impact from this call. Find that when you don't have it, then you can make it. You never understand what went in for the guy they talk about it. You don't listen. You only listen technical, feature. Oh yeah, they say something that they needed so many CDs. Oh, I have it. This is the product that you need. All you're doing is looking for the feature that they're looking for so you can match. That's the real first time that they look and you're like, you know what? I can trust you. Whatever you're saying is going to work. And that is called promotion. So you have to be very careful that although this is one of the reasons AI is not not going to take over the good salesperson job. Because AI cannot figure out how to capture the mental makeup from the book. They can tell you whether you talk or not, but there's no avatar. As I know, 15 years, I might be surprised, and I'll be like, oh, remember that song? One size fits all. Who has a different fit for a different size? You? You what? You figure it out, I'm going to change this because the feature here that customer A likes, the other customer B, they don't like about that one. They don't care. They care if it's one size fits all. But when this works, is the one size fits them. And here is the key. Sometimes the salespeople are like, oh yeah, I talk to construction, sales engineer. So comes the solutions engineer, sales engineer, and guess what? This starts from the because they want to start from the beginning. This is how they do it. Don't mess up the cadence. So they talk A, feature B, and the customer is like, I was interested in feature A. I said, I'm done, I'm sleepy, I gotta go. This is why so many times in Denver, like, oh yeah, I gotta go. Because by the time you get to this matters to me. So this is why sales and sales engineers work so close together. So how would the solution engineer understand how to do it? Let them look at what AI gets about that. And they themselves are going to do that. And they have to match the features or whatever value that you have to what the customer. So that is one. But one of the things that big hunters have, that's it. Storytelling. I particularly recommend the Joseph Campbell because talks about the customer like this, and then discover a pain, and then woo comes your product, and all happy ever after. Like the Disney, Star Wars type of scenario. If you start talking one of your case studies and you turn it into a fun business story, and it's going to be the customer they learn it, they remember everything. So sharpen your storytelling, and everything else is there. Stop the gut reaction and use the gut. Final is the targeted. This one here is a bit harder. Why? The money. I don't know why. Every time I walk into a customer, marketing and sales are at all. You're like, why are you guys fighting so much? It's crazy. You're just like, oh, marketing. Sorry for the one. The other one leaves. They give me the lead. I called, nobody picked up. It's terrible. I don't want to call. So what do you do with this lead? I'm not going to touch it because everything. And then marketing. This is terrible. We do all this. Campaigns and webinars, and we get all this leads, and sales doesn't like home. So it's their turn, and sales like they don't want to get home. And that is the same thing I find in every customer. I'm like, stop it. AI is forcing you to work together because they targeted engagement. So what do I mean by targeted engagement? People to get a lead for any outreach strategy or even an inbound. Salespeople have to be marketing information. But you know how it is. Marketing sales for themselves. Like, what do you want me to do with this form? You need to fill it. Go ask the questions. No, I'm not going to ask these questions to the customer. Right? They're like, okay, so they fill it up. I'm like, okay, here's your form. And then they set up a message, and guess what? What do you mean? It was whatever the salespeople thought it would be. And so what happens is we do all these webinars, we do all these things again. So what happens is marketing needs to take care of fun. They're reporting. After all, you are right how much information the customer gives you in every single point. So marketing say, hey, we need to transfer it, read it, analyze it, there's that data. You go to 5 salespeople and take the data, take the transfer, then put it together. Everything down. Company use what the customer said, and you collect 5 different reports, you're gonna get customer sentiment. And that's what you don't want to say, oh, I save you money and I'm really reliable. Yeah, you're not like that, right? The product says that, then it's everything. So one of the things that is important when it comes to this is collaboration with sure. So if you're marketing, this is good. But if you are sales, this is why you're ready. You're going to ask for your ideal customer profile. But not something that we're thinking. What is the data? Ask marketing, where is the data that shows that this is my ideal customer? Second, give me the persona for this. You need to have each persona. Who buys? The CFO, the CIO, the human resources person. You have to have a persona. Marketing has to create it based on the customer. This is that point of view. This is means that someone AI can gather information from emails from the customer, from meetings. You can create a history, even without talking. Ask for that targeted web. Stop doing, okay, let's talk a webinar because I think customers like it. Analyze all these stories to the minimum common denominator. So you have to work. So you need to use AI, but here is what you should be using AI for. Never go anything. Create a account plan. It's so easy. Just go to ChatGPT. I can send you some information up front. Give me a good sales account plan. Tell me what information I'm going to need. You're not telling you, okay, you're going to need ICPs, you're going to need the thing, you're going to need this, you're going to need that. Run those and get it for large strategic companies. Then you need to research the company. You have to do that and just a prompt. How many employees? What is the revenue? What is the potential time? Potential pain on Facebook, right? Usually people are talking about posting about something. All this is very easy. You have to walk in a hypothesis, right? What could be the pain based on other people in the same need? Also, potential impact is KPI. You should know that all these things, one of the metrics that are important for the program. You don't ask what metric is important. And that's information that you're going to use. What are the metrics that are important? And you should be able to start collecting. What are the top 3 KPIs that every customer wants to see? Run yourself. Use all this information and run a customer. The prompt you can engineer, so case studies, here, use cases, here. What are the KPIs? Because now marketing is having to collect information and web off, right? Here, hypothetical things, point of view, which is use cases. And then ask this question. What are the potential challenges that decision makers have? Ask the question, what changes are happening in your company? Ask all these questions and the prompts, and you'll be amazed on how much information. Because I have done it. I've done it with several companies now. And they look at it and are like, this is spot on. And they go, oh, I need to. Now all we're doing is so it is time to unlearn the bad habits. Fine. So take time. Use that saving time that you're gonna get to really ask all those things that you need to work on. And so that's it. I think that there's going to be three types of self-esteem. The ones that are going to be gone, the ones that are going to get better, and the ones that if they decide to raise and adapt, then it will be fantastic. That's all for today. Thank you so much. Any questions? And by the way, if you ever need some of the prompts that I use with company, let me know. I'm at rosaryparty.com or find me on LinkedIn. I'll send you guys to you. Yeah, no, go ahead.
So the first thing is, it's pretty interesting. I feel like first, like with this time not having or so I work for Microsoft. We have added a lot of features that does not only but also chat with the data and it's just so I feel like making sure they are and they how what the point options are and
Okay, so I have a very strong opinion. I'm a salesperson. Right? I'm really good at what I do when I compete. When I want to listen, I'm talking about actively listening to somebody. Any squirrel that passes by, any bee, somebody mowing the lawn, anybody talking to me, because I have friends I'm like, hey, what you sending me a WhatsApp or a text, the customer is saying that. I can't listen to the customer and you give me my text and you give me information. The moment we can know multitask, get it in your head. Neuroscientists have proven it over and over again. We cannot multitask. You're either listening to the customer or you're reading the form. It's very, very, very hard. And the moment, here's the deal. The moment that you stop listening to the customer, because sometimes I have to almost go like this because my brain is just like, oh, start thinking about something, oh, I can't order. And it just takes 1 second and you do something super good. Go ahead. Super basic. Yeah, go ahead.
That's it, like not available off the back, but you have to on the video call that's gonna tell you in the body language. So that's the only one.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. By the way, this is one of the skills that I think that is coming, right? So this is why salespeople like their job because I know Microsoft has for demos. Demos are amazing because Microsoft with the recognition, they can tell where are the eyes of my customer. Guess what's happening to them? We're talking about this, and you they're reading something else. I mean, you do it. I do it. Right? I'm probably showing you my PowerPoint and you're like, oh, you're reading, you're not listening. But you can't multitask. So I think that's going to be fantastic because you're going to see where the eyeballs are. And you're in a challenge. I think for demos, that's going to be fun. Absolutely. So once I learned that you can do that, I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. And I think that you can do it now, right? If you can follow the eyeballs forward, yeah.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah, but you know, just a little control.
hyperdynamic, that's that. It's still not getting that. This is well. I think it's so regardless of how many times that we well, or to me that human beings
Right?
I mean, they can capture as much as they want, so that at the end of the day,
Not only the monitoring, but remember what I told you about authenticity, about really making this like I care about it, that I have my business. Hold on a second.
So I'm with Dick. I'm a hunter, and I like to do what we call first. So I can watch fire.
Exactly.
I pay a lot of attention.
You lean in, right? You're like,
I mimic the way they sit.
The
And
mirror.
that's why I can connect. But how can AI pick up on what's data?
you know what I've done?
Yeah.
I record it. I turn on my Zoom and I said, do you mind if I record this in Zoom? And I turn on my Zoom and I start it on, just like that, and I start recording it. And then I don't care. Like now I don't have to worry about writing stuff down. As a hunter, I used to. All I wanted to do is. But the eye contact is so important because remember, the discovery call, again, it is not about getting the information. That's the best part. But it really is about connection, right? Because if you don't connect within the first 5 minutes, you're not going to get it. Right. For example, on that end, what I do as a hunter, I come in and just with my body language, I make the customer feel at ease. It is not about recording their intention. It's about making them open up so they can, so AI can record a sentence. But if you don't make them open up, right, if you don't really make them trust you, they're not going to tell you anything. And AI is not going to go, hey, you forgot to tell me this. I don't. Then you know that when you're talking to a customer, they don't want to give you information. What do they think? They're like, oh, I don't know if I can share that information. Well, it's just easy to talk to my competitor. Right? Don't you have that? I've seen middle of the road salespeople, and you're like, why didn't you ask this information? But what is the economic value? What? And you're like, this is information you need. Well, I get it because they say no. That is the difference. They focus so much on that trust so you can get into it and AI can go. So that's what I'm saying, that you have to sharpen that skill, because that opening up part, that still has to happen. At least in my experience. Right. No, go ahead.
But you know, like AI in limited reality. Right? Very simple problem. Very
Well,
simple, right? But cognitive dynamics is very different. So here we have neural networks, we have artificial intelligence, right? So here, almost an intelligence. How about software engineers, developers, so programmers, up to 5 years of experience, that's all gonna be already limited by AI. But if you are thriving on hunting, intelligence, you are the architect, business architect, you understand how to create applications and leverage AI to build it because writing code is easy now, but understanding the architecture and putting pieces together is hard. So I am still understanding and processing when you say that hunting, it's going to be hard for them, maybe because of the adoption curve, you think?
yes, no, no, yes, here right now, hard for them to get adoption, but they are going to be unbeatable if they figure it out. That's what I'm saying. If they, but they are so hard to change, right? Don't you feel like it's hard for you to change? Like, I mean, I don't know, maybe.
I know what works for me.
That's right. That's
And
the
I've
answer.
done it for a long time. Plus, I'm not. It takes me a long time to figure out tech. I don't,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know I'm at a tech slave. Sorry, no offense to you guys. I don't figure you guys out. I don't know how y'all do it so fast. Outer AI? Yeah, I've never heard of that.
No, but even without it, right? But it is true. That is the answer. Exact answer. I walk in when I go to a company. The middle of the work, they pick it up. The hundreds you don't because guess what? We're in here. We're starting. We're not really. I mean, data driven a little bit. I'm an engineer, so I cannot do that. It really does. I always did that, right? If there is something that you know whether somebody's gonna buy it, it's you. That's the hunt, right? So they need to adapt, not because it's not working, because it's fast. Because like you're saying, it's gonna take a long time to be able to collect all that data, getting the proposals, getting et cetera. Stuff. How long does it take to get a proposal out? A long time. Now with AI, you can do it in 2 minutes. So with all the data that you've always collected, right? So that is the similar to the developers though. What we say is the bottom ones are gone. Okay. Sure, developers, but those transactional salespeople, go find something else. Unless you change a lot. Did you know see my first one is the first excuse, did you know see my first this is the excuse that I get all the time. Here. You are with everybody. They all have it. I don't want to report because the customer is not going to like it. I have to prove it that over and over and over. Yeah? And if that's the case, you're in a disadvantage. If you are not allowed, if they don't allow you to report, then you're in a disadvantage. But here's where the hunter comes in. The hunter walks in and immediately makes the people feel happy. Don't you do that? I do that. When I walk in, and it's just my demeanor. So let me tell you, yeah, I talk a little bit, and then you see them like take their shield down. I can see it almost coming down. And then I go, hey, do you mind if I record? So that's the key. It's like, what is economic value? Oh, nobody wants to tell me. But that is the magic that works, right? Like that's what informed by it. It's getting to use the AI to your benefit. The best for so those 5 things are the best. The best one is use the transcript and use the right prompt to get everything in the book. So, yeah, check it out. You'll be amazed. If you're a Google House, use Gemini. If you're a Microsoft, you're gonna have Copilot. I mean, everybody has now. Even I always ask, okay, so which one you like? Google, Microsoft? They're like, we use Microsoft. Okay, let's start doing Copilot. I mean, it's all over now. It's amazing. Like before, it was just ChatGPT, right? Now it's Lord has a bit of machine inside.
And it really,
So here is when I come in to when I come into a sales organization, I bring in right, and I customize. But I have to ask. Some organizations says, oh yeah, we can do this. We find AI jump in and we work it out, and they can help me with all of that. Sometimes it's really hard. Sometimes they're like, we use Amazon AWS. Ooh, that's not. I don't know if anybody comes from Amazon, but that's just a terrible one. So sometimes you can't. But this is on the companies. They have to have the instructions from us.
I really, really like what you said about the fact I'm in marketing now, but I used to be in sales. And like when I was in sales, I just kind of like didn't have enough time to you don't. If you're trying to get a mutual relationship with somebody else, there's no way you have enough time. So I feel like now that you're bringing it up, like it's kind of like critic, I feel like it's huge different, and especially with the support people, you also like I've never done a call and not research like AI.
Yeah, yeah.
But I also wanted to say, I'm more so asking, I feel like AI is not going to replace, like, I don't know what else to call it, but really exam, but like, I feel really proud of skills that help people do things, some people also like, I think the majority of my friends that we work with, like, people close, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but like,
He's like, I'm fine.
like, and I find that hunters are usually from fraternities, and that's totally true.
Okay, that is totally true.
And that's the culture. Like I've been.
You know why those frat guys come in and like,
But it's
and
about,
they make you feel. This is the funny part. Sometimes the tech guys, and I'm not generalizing, but many times the tech guys have been like the quiet one in high school, the one shy, you know. And here comes the, like an uncle, and he's paying attention to the guy that never got attention from them in high school. And I've seen that. I've seen how technical guys, like the engineers, are like, so
The frat guys end up working for the quiet guys.
Yeah, exactly. At the end.
but if you think about it, a lot of frat guys also have connections that make them the person who's buying these things. Like I know a lot of frat guys who are also like your champion for like closing a deal because like I hate to say this, but like their dad owns something and you got the job. I'm sorry, but it's also like I'm a women's college. But it's true. Like people get jobs through fraternities or people become like elevated and not. I don't other groups.
Yeah, it is a connection.
And I want commission. I want commission. I'm not always focused on the ethics of how I close the deal.
Oh my God.
a lot of times it's always not,
It's
connections.
And so that's the key with the connection.
Life. So every person you
Yeah.
sit next to, you just no matter how the skill at someone you sit next to, and one of my biggest connections like my partner is like 5 years ago.
Right. And
You
so,
never know you're gonna be No, it's
That's,
just
yeah. So that connection, I always say, now that you have AI, you write your emails, answer all the questions, build your CRM, which is the best thing that can happen. I like at the end of the week, I'll be like, okay, how can I build this? And now when I walk into companies, you can see that you know who the sales hunters are, because you open and you're like edited on Sunday night, and then the pipeline review is on Monday, and you're like, just change that. There is no way you remember in a Sunday night the conversations that you had on a Monday afternoon. There's no freaking way. So I know you're just making stuff up. You and I know, but we all know. Like, like he's laughing. Okay, yes, that's true.
Not my
So,
favorite word.
yeah, no, I can see it. But it is true. That is what
What's it say
AI
in the
is.
quota call?
What?
What's it say in the quota call?
What do you mean? Oh, the quota card. No, I mean, that is check. Check. And then he was like, you know what? It's fast. Like, you made your quota, and I used to, yeah, they forgave a lot of my sin, back then, because I'm a quota. But it is not going to work as well anymore. Believe me, because I'm walking into this company, and they have AI strategies, and they want those AI strategies to work because they want you to do it fast, right? That's the thing. We have to. It takes a little bit of time. You make a phone call, you make another phone call, you can make more, right? Yeah, okay, that's my prediction. I want a short, yeah, I want a, what do you call it, short, like Salesforce. I don't think it's going to survive that. Because,
Wait,
I
what?
know.
Wait, what?
I know, because you spend millions, and at the end of the day, this story is so true. My last company that I'm consulting for them, and I finally getting AI. Is I go in there and say, okay, I want to see the data. Oof, no, I don't know. You gotta go talk to the Salesforce guy. So I can't. The sales guy cannot read it. Yeah, he has to go to the Salesforce guy. So the Salesforce guy comes and he goes, what do you want to read? I don't know. I want to see everything, like all the data. Well, you have to tell me that. Then I have to program. What? No, that's silly. That's crazy. So then they go back and I go, okay, I couldn't find the data from the Salesforce. And then you know what the sales manager said? Don't worry. Because spreadsheet here, this is what we do, all our stuff. And then they give me the spreadsheet and all their quota, all how much they're going, all their leads, what's gonna close, and that spreadsheet. And it's not even a paper plate. I'm talking like plain, good old plain spreadsheet. And like you spend millions and millions of dollars on Salesforce. And they're like, yeah, but who uses that? And they're still using the spreadsheet. And this is 2024, August of 2024, and I'm still seeing the spreadsheet for large companies. And these are, oh wait, and this company is what they do for a living. They do AI bots. Isn't that weird? Like they're an AI company.
Well, that's every plumber has bad plumbing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, call me crazy, that's all you need. You just need name, last call, next call. That's all you need.
Yeah. I mean,
Wait, what?
Like,
For the
I see it,
CRM.
It says name, like last call, next call. I just have a Google Sheet.
But then how do you present your ROI?
Good.
another hunter. Okay, so this is.
But
You
just
just
off,
wait for
yeah,
it.
but just off that information alone,
hunters to give you information. Because we are terrible. We are terrible. What you do is download his recording, his transcript of every call that he had. They call the credit, but you know, like the relationship part, expressions or whatever, and just ask guys like him, you know, get so much out of a customer. It's unbelievable. One time, finally, we convinced one of the top hunters in this company, this other company that I teach, to get to the report. Like, okay, well, it's a mandatory. Okay, if it's mandatory, I'm going to report. Because he gave us all the excuses in the world. No, my customers don't like it. No, I have big customers. Oh, blah, blah. I'm like, mandatory. Okay. They knew they could record. So they recorded it, and I analyzed it. And I was like, oh my God, this guy has so much information on the customer. And he was laughing the whole time. Like, how the hell you get so much information? Like, they get a lot of information. But you know what else the recording had? There was this other person they thought to be a top salesperson. And we looked at that, it was all price. They sold only on price. And it was, they never asked for paying, sold on price. So you get discovered a little bit. But yeah, I mean, you get the sales, so nobody's asking them. But companies are going to need this information because you leave, and you know where the information is. And CRM is a thing, so this is why AI is collecting all this data, and eventually you're not going to need a CRM. Because, like, what was it over there? Like you said, he's predicting everything is going to be real time.
So what if you lost like a big enterprise deal? What's that thing that you do after a closed loss? It's like a mortuary thing. It's like cause of death or something like that. Postmortem. But sometimes people lose enterprise deals. The most confident hunter has lost an enterprise deal before, and they usually don't have that AI for accountability to react to that.
Yeah. When hunters, when we lose a big enterprise deal, we come back and go, there was that guy, it was a technical, we didn't have that technical feature, that's what I know. That was my skill. It was never me, right? Because I'm awesome. But it was always the product. We didn't have that technical feature. So it was either price or feature. You're like, and we did this. We analyzed this guy lost $1 million deal. We were doing all this, and they weren't really into AI. And they were very confident. I mean, people were like almost about popular confidence. They forgot something too. It's like, this is happening. The CEO was the ultimate economic guy. What do I mean? Who writes the check? Right? And so we were so confident that the guy said, oh no, what do we call it? Rubber stamp. Don't worry, it's a rubber stamp. We got it. We went back and analyzed the whole, and they never asked whether that guy that they were talking to was the ultimate economic guy. Because I usually ask, are you going to write the check? And they forgot. I know it was like rookie mistake. Yeah. But it happened. You get excited. I've happened to me. Come on. It happened to all of us, right? Like, come on, this happened to me. So when you go all the way, you're like, what? The CEO has to be the whistle? I thought you had it. I thought it was a rubber stamp. Yeah, I thought so too, but he didn't like it. And so, come on. And it's just painful. Like, that's another thing that AI has. Well, if we don't have any questions, I think Javier, oh yeah, you have one more question. Yeah, no, that's okay. Javier is like, come on, let's go. We want margaritas. Yeah, okay. You want to know my trick? Okay, I have to give my trick. This is not part of the, this is an extra. This is the extra. Okay, I'm gonna do a discovery. and I'm talking to somebody, and somebody says, yeah, you know what? My product, let's say it's one of those companies that do like documentation and organize documentation. And they said, yeah, you know, it's been very hard because we never are on time for our ISO and documentation is really hard. Not everything is in place, you know, and yeah, we are probably going to need some help. And this is what I said. So the moment that they say that, a lot of salespeople, not us, but most salespeople go like, oh, I have a product that's going to help you. So you need something organized? They only go on the vibe. What we do go further than that. We say, but tell me, having all this organization and all this, how does that affect you? How does it impact you? Like, it's hard for me. What about your team? How does it really impact your business? That's it. Then they start talking to you. Because you're asking them about them. And then you come back and you say, wow, that must be empathize, obviously. That must be really time consuming, what you're saying, and a headache, right, for you. What about for the company? What does that mean for the business itself? I mean, for the business, we're losing a lot of time and money. So whatever affects the business is the logical rational. Whatever affects the decision maker, the person, and their own team, that's the good?
Yeah, wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Hey, so I know that there are a lot more questions to be answered, so we're going to continue the network. We still have some time here to have some tequilas. So thank you all for coming, and let's do a group photo.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
So gather together.
We're standard.
Yeah, should we stand? Like, is this like a?
Yeah, standing. Just group together.
Yeah.
All right, we'll stand. Let's stand.
What's that?
We're in the
Okay.
middle.
I feel like if we stand up, it gets more complicated with
Our
height.
speaker in the
I
middle.
like it.
Thank you.
No,
You just
I'm
stand
gonna-
over
she
there.
just says like it is.
Where
Yeah.
people come to the front, we can't see you.
Wait, are we taking a photo?
Yeah.
Oh, you're up there.
You guys come over here. Unless you don't want to be in the photo. In which case, do not come over here.
No, it's okay.
If you two want to be.
Right,
Yeah,
5,
don't be recorded.
4,
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Say sales.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's give Rosa another round of applause. Thank you all for coming. There's a lot of tequila, so please go and make line. Yes, we have a lineup of speakers, but let me take you Are you on this?
I will definitely recommend it.
Cool. You said you work for Microsoft, right? You're like coding in no, not you don't like me, or you don't like my art? That's about it.
It's building the identity of the process of one thing, one platform,
Okay.
and We're starting.
Yeah, so let's connect them.
Yeah, let's connect.
Yeah, what's up? I'm a hunter, but I believe in what you're saying. Yeah, I agree. I'm not. If we work for a bigger company, maybe we should work for yeah, yeah, but guess what?